Camping with the Princess. Twilight is pacing in the hallway in the Castle of Friendship, looking forward to the weekend. After completing everything on a list of things to do in Pointville, amongst so many things, her brother and sister-in-law are dropping off their baby so that she can babysit. It's been a while since she became an aunt to their daughter due to her schedule getting in the way all the time. But for this one weekend, all potential interruptions are gone, with no pony demanding her duties. This is going to be perfect, Twilight cheered as her number one assistant came into the room. Is Flurry here yet? He asked. Almost, Spike. I'm ready to give Flurry the best weekend she'll ever have. She gave Spike a hug, despite her dragon friend being unfazed. Even though this is the first time in a while that you're taking care of her for the weekend. After hearing Spike's statement, she broke the hug. Well, ants also have busy lives too, she blurted out. I'm just saying, Twilight, you don't have to act like that, even if it's going to be nice to have Flurry with you again. They then hear the doorbell ring, which caused Twilight to head to the door. Once she opened the door, she saw Shining Number and Princess Cadence waiting with a baby carriage by their side. Twilight, they both cheered. Shining, Cadence, the princess smiled as she invited the 2 ponies inside with Cadence using her magic to pull the carriage. Is Flurry hot in there? Spike asked. Yes, and she's sleeping, Shining Armor replied. She must have been tired after she ate her lunch. She must have a wonderful snack that caught her in slumber, Twilight giggled. But the same thing will happen when she has supper tonight. This also made Shining and Cadence laugh from Twilight's sense of humor. It's a good thing you're available for this weekend. I can't wait to hear everything you did with her after this weekend is over, Cadence smiled. Don't worry, this aunt will take care of everything while you're gone. A lot can happen when Twilight takes care of your daughter, Spike smirked. It's true. Twilight gave a hug to Princess Cadence and Shining Armor before they left the Castle of Friendship to begin the weekend together as husband and wife. Twilight took Flurry, who's still sleeping in her carriage, into her throne room where the cutie map is located. She wanted to take her to one of the lands in Equestria, but the options are too many for her to pick just one. So many places, yet not the right day off for her. Twilight looking at her map. Spike entered the room with cupcakes he's carrying on a platter. Have you picked a place yet? He asked. All that the Princess of Friendship did was shook her head. Spike placed the platter on the table while walking up to the purple pony. How is it difficult for you to find one land in Equestria to cheer Flurry up? Spike asked. It's not that it's difficult, it's just I've never taken her to lands outside of the Crystal Empire. Her parents showed her everything since they were the rulers of the kingdom. I want Flurry to go to a land she had never seen before. Spike looked at the map himself. While he knows to never bring Flurry to the Dragonlands or Manhattan of millions of ponies, there are still places that will work for the solution. Why can't you take her to see Equestria? He offered. Because Cadence told me that Flurry always opens her mouth when she's taking a bath. It will probably bother the hippogriffs if she blows bubbles underwater. Twilight looked at Equestria from her map. She may be morphed into a sea pony, but from what I heard, she's not ready. Then I'm sorry, I got nothing for ya. Why don't you get some of the toys for Flurry to play with? I bought them a few days ago and they're still in my bedroom. Sure. Spike left the throne room and headed to Twilight's bedroom. As for the princess, she continues to look at the map to find the perfect place for Flurry. Spike entered Twilight's room and saw a box filled with Flurry's toys. Just before he carries the box back, he then heard a buzzing noise by Twilight's bed. When he turned around, he saw one of Twilight's books was vibrating. Back at the throne room, the baby Alicorn is still sleeping in her carriage while her aunt is still looking for the right place for her on the map. She then heard Spike entering the throne room yet again, only this time she heard the same buzzing sound. Twilight, one of your books is vibrating, Spike placing the box on the ground. That must be Sunset. She took notice as she took the book from Spike. Once she opens it, she reads the message she received from Sunset. Dear Twilight Sparkle, I know it's been a week since you came to Cantala High, but we're actually doing a charity at the moment. We're gonna take children to Camp Everfree for the weekend, and we're also going to do tons of activities there. I know you only went to Camp Everfree once, but Tempo told me there's so much you haven't experienced. Not only that, the children are the same ones you met last year during the holiday season. And yes, Wildflower, along with her sister Lily Pad, will be there. I understand you had a reason for not talking to my friends, but Principal Celestia was just trying to help. You may be busy and always put your focus in Equestria, but you know, not every wallet has the same qualities. This is still an offer if you want to come or not. We completely understand if it's not that important to you. Your friend, Sunset Shimmer. The Princess of Friendship couldn't believe what she just read. Not because her friends are heading back to Camp Everfree, but also Lily, who she hasn't seen since the holiday season. Twilight, Spike asked. Twilight didn't even respond to Spike's call. Out of all the time they had, the Rainbooms decided to do a charity for children in Everfree Forest, which gave her an idea for a possible solution. You're thinking about taking Flurry Heart with you, aren't you? Spike crossed his arms. The princess sighed upon hearing Spike. Yes. No offense, but don't you think this is more of a risky idea? You do realize Flurry is too young for this. When Twilight looked at the baby Alicorn again, she agreed with her assistant. To think she found a way to give Flurry Heart the best weekend in such a long time, the negative side is too hard to resolve. Spike, wait here, she spoke as she left the room. The dragon became confused with Twilight's motivation. He only helped with Twilight's duties when she went to the Mirror World, but never heard all the stories she had, which includes her cruise vacation and her holiday shopping. When Twilight returned back to the room, she held a fabric doll of herself with her telekinesis. Have you ever seen this doll wherever you go inside my bedroom? She asked. Yes, as a matter of fact, I saw it again when I found the toy box, Spike answered. This was a gift Lily made for me. She lowered the doll to Spike so he can hold on to it. She really made this for you? Yes. I know I haven't taken you with me lately, but she's way longer than you think. This doll really means something to me, and when it's not something from Equestria, that really means something. Spike had no words when he saw the fabric doll in his hand. If he was with Twilight this whole time, he would actually catch up with what Twilight was doing from the last 2 years. You really want to meet her again? He asked. Yes, Twilight nodded with both of her ears lowered. Well, no offense, but even if you did take Flurry Heart with you, I don't think your brother and sister-in-law will approve of this once they find out. Spike, I know I've made bad mistakes in the past, but I know I can prevent Flurry from getting lost. My friends still respect my princess duties, especially the other me. Spike rolled his eyes from hearing his sister's point. I still don't know about this. It's your choice, but I'm not coming with you, mainly because I want no part of this. Well, so much for being my #1 assistant, Twilight retorted. Don't act like I'm rude, this is serious, Spike retorted back. This only made the princess sigh in despair for acting a little rough towards Spike. While she has to face the facts, she knows how to take care of Flurry Heart, given the circumstances. She looked at Flurry Heart, who's still sleeping, and then at the map of Equestria. After checking all the lands, none of them made her choice final. There's only one place she has in mind to take Flurry with her to, and it's not in Equestria. Back in the Mirror World, Pinkie Pie and Applejack are guiding most of the children into the Rainboom's bus from the school, most of the kids ranging from 5th to 8th graders. Rarity, Flasheye, and Rainbow Dash are packing up supplies for the activities they're going to do at Everfree Forest. As for Sunset Shimmer and Human Twilight, they're putting together a to-do list for the children. Are you sure Tempo and Gloria will be okay with this? Twilight asked. They've never had children at Camp Everfree before. Trust me, Twilight, when the children were taken here have the experience like we've had, they're going to tell the grandchildren about it, Sunset smiled. Who knows, if our charity is a success, Gloria might consider on having kids be part of this field trip more frequently. As Sunset continues to write the schedule, Human Twilight notices that Twilight's backpack is moving and vibrating. Hey, your backpack is shaking, she pointed. That must be Twilight from Equestria. Sunset placed her schedule on the ground. She took out the journal and read Twilight's message. Not only is she surprised to read that she wants to come, but with the condition she never did upon returning. Twilight, why don't you finish the schedule while heading to Camp Everfree? I'm gonna pick up our princess friend along with another child. This made human Twilight blink in confusion. Another child? I thought we had enough. Let's just say she's going to make a lot of friends, considering she's not from the school like the rest of the children. Sunset went to her car as she made her way to Cantala High while Princess Twilight is waiting. I wonder what's going to happen now, Twilight smiled. Applejack leads the final two girls out of the school and is revealed to be Lily Pad and Water Lily, who forgot to bring along her sea pony plushie. Not only are they happy for the weekend that's coming, but the amount of activities will make them love Camp Everfree. With the rest of the children and Wayne Brooms head inside the bus, they make their way to Everfree Forest, where Glossio and Timber are waiting. After a nice 15-minute drive, the Wayne Brooms arrive at Everfree Forest, being more peaceful than before with the birds singing and the lake 100% clean. The children are more excited as they see the tents they're going to sleep overnight, depending which gemstone they picked out. The cafeteria where most of the food is located in a cave of crystal that awaits them for tomorrow. As the bus parked after driving through the entrance, all the kids ran out to see Camp Everfree itself. This is going to be the best weekend ever, Technicolor Waves cheered. Are there going to be s'mores? Kimberly asked. Pinkie Pie from behind picked up the three kids with a tight hug. Yes, but they're for later, she replied. Right now, all of you must wait at the courtyard for the counselors to make their announcement. As the kids listened to Pinkie's instruction, the rest of the Wayne Brooms wondered when Sunset Shimmer is coming back. So you're saying that she's picking up the Princess of Friendship while also bringing another kid? Rainbow asked. Did I hear that right? Fluttershy added. Well, she didn't tell me who Twilight is referring to, Human Twilight explained. But at the same time, the less time we think about this, the more time we can do the activities. So we're just going to start without Sunset, Rarity said while coming out from the bus. Pretty much. I'm sure she'll be okay with it. The Wayne Brooms head to the courtyard where all the children are still waiting. While Lily, along with her sister Lily Pad, are sitting together on the grass. While they look forward to what Camp Everfree delivers, the best is yet to come. Then after Applejack came out of the main office, both Glossio and Timber were right behind her with microphones in their hands. They couldn't believe the amount of children the Wayne Brooms had with them. While it isn't a lot like what Canterlot High had to offer last time, they will give them their all of what Everfree Forest really is. Children, Applejack shouted, meet two of your counselors of Camp Everfree, Glossio Daisy and Timber Spruce. The country girl went to her friends while allowing the counselors to do the rest. We're going to show you all the activities Camp Everfree has to offer. Then afterwards, the Wayne Brooms will put you into your groups. Glossio smiled. This is the first time kids like you are spending the weekend here, Timber added. If you have any questions, just raise your hand. Upon hearing Timber's words, nearly all the kids raised their hands. Timber didn't expect so many questions from 10 kids, so he can decide to pick one instead. He pointed at Mainstrom, who had his hand up the highest. Where's Sunset Shimmer? He asked. It was a question Timber didn't want, but he still answers nonetheless. She's a bit delayed at the moment. Then Sunset's vehicle appeared from the entrance as she parked right behind the Wayne Brooms bus. The children, the Wayne Brooms, and the counselors took notice as Sunset Shimmer got out of her vehicle. Sorry I'm late, she called. Not that much, darling, Rarity called back. We just began introducing the counselors. This made Sunset happy that she didn't miss anything except guiding the kids to the courtyard. Great, give me a second. She headed to the other side of her car and opened the passenger door. The Princess of Friendship came out of the vehicle, which surprised the children. They remembered her very well from hearing the speech she gave at the Star Store Festival and dressed up as Mrs. Claus during the holidays. This made Water Lily thrilled to see Twilight once again, especially after 5 months, when she gave her a gift to her. However, Princess Twilight didn't make any eye contact with the other kids. She opened the second door where the kid she brought along from Equestria was sitting. She couldn't believe how different babies were once they entered the mirror world, so much so that it would keep Water Lily occupied. Kids, Please meet the final child for our Camp Everfree weekend, Flurry Heart. The princess revealed Flurry, who's now awake. The kids were surprised to see another child to be part of the Camp Everfree weekend. Not only that, she's almost the same age as Water Lily, the only girl who's any longer. Water didn't expect this, not only the appearance of Princess Twilight once again, but also a child with her. This caused all the kids to rush up to Twilight and Flurry Heart. Okay, before all of you play with Flurry, Twilight called. She has a speaking disability, so she can't say any words or complete sentences. When the kids understand what Twilight is talking about, they decide to give Flurry some space. They're happy to meet another kid at camp and wonder what she can do, despite not knowing she's from Equestria, just like Twilight. Princess Twilight is making sure she's holding onto Flurry's hand once she's heading to the courtyard. Upon arriving to this ward, she held onto Flurry to prevent her from tripping on the ground. Even if her friends will help her out, it's only going to be this weekend and she's worried if Flurry gets seriously hurt. It's the only thing she regrets for taking Flurry to Camp Everfree. As for the Rainbooms along with the counselors, they found Flurry Heart adorable, just like Water Lily. Well, she looks really sweet, Glossier commented from her microphone. Not to mention making this weekend interesting, Timbo added. As Twilight placed Flurry by the other kids, she heads to the Rainbooms as the counselors continue their announcement. Before we do any of the activities, we're going to assign you to one of the 8 tents. You'll be sharing this tent with a camper by picking out a card that's either Emerald, Aquamarine, Amethyst, Sapphire, or Ruby. Timbo lifted a bag filled with gemstone cards. He heads to the kids and allows them to pick a card from the bag. For the next 2 minutes, all the kids are assigned to the tent they're sleeping in for the weekend. Flurry is going to sleep in the Sapphire tent since she picked out a Sapphire gemstone card. There was only one more kid who didn't pick out her card, and that's Water Lily. As Timbo headed to Water, he knew there was only one card left in the bag. Water picked out the final card and is revealed to be a Sapphire card. Looks like they're going to be showing a tent with Flurry Heart, Glossier giggled while looking at the card. Perfect, Twilight thought. As Glossier leads all the kids to the tent, the Rainbooms head to the boathouse to prepare for the first activity of the weekend. I still can't believe you decided to come with us, Human Twilight commented to her counterpart. Well, I wouldn't want to miss Everfree Forest in this world, Princess Twilight replied. It's been almost 2 years and I haven't seen everything yet. Then this weekend would be delightful, darling, Rarity smiled. Especially when we're here this time, Applejack added. Not to mention Flurry Heart is cute, Fluttershy added. Okay, we can all agree that Flurry Heart is adorable, but let's not forget she needs some assistance, the princess said while being a bit serious. I don't want to express a lot when it comes to Flurry being here. I already talked to Sunset about it. Don't worry, Twilight. Sunset opened the door to the boathouse. As far as I'm concerned, you and Flurry will have the best time here at Camp Everfree. Not to mention Water Lily will be sharing a tent with Flurry. Upon hearing that, Twilight looked at the kids by the tents in the distance. She saw both Flurry Heart and Water Lily heading inside the Sapphire tent. As much as she wants to see them gain along, she still needs to help her friends with the boats. Back at the tents, all the kids are getting comfortable in the tents they will be sleeping during the weekend. Inside the Sapphire tent, both Flurry Heart and Water Lily are enjoying their separate mattresses. Water Lily understands that Flurry has a speaking disability, but she decides to be nice with her. Hey, she called, which caught Flurry's attention. Is this the first time you ever been to a camp? Flurry had never heard of a camp in her life. Due to the majority of her life being spent in the Crystal Empire, all she can do is nod from Water's question. Huh, Water blinked. Seems weird to think about it. Despite Flurry's lack of speaking, she's starting to gain a liking to Water Lily. When it comes to the babies she meets in the Crystal Empire, she will like them if they're nice to her. She got off her mattress and gave Water a hug, much to Lily's surprise. Wow, it seems you must be a hugger from where you live. Water, Flurry, Timber called from the outside of the tent. We're gonna go to the dock now. Both Water and Flurry came out of the Sapphire tent as they and the other kids left their tents. By the time they headed back, the Rainbooms brought out 8 sailboats from the boathouse. You will be sailing with one of the girls who will teach you to use the paddles, Glocio called. Yes, I knew sailing would be the first activity, Lily Longsocks cheered. As the rain booms placed the sailboats in the lake, they took out the life jackets for all the kids to wear in case of emergencies. Each sailboat has a gemstone logo on its side, representing the group the 2 kids who will be sharing the sailboat. Keep in mind, we're here to keep you safe and sound, Flashlight guiding one of the kids to the sailboats, especially giving you more views like the mountains and the forest itself, Applejack added while helping one of the kids to put on their life jackets. Princess Twilight is watching her counterpart, helping Flurry and Water Lily gain on the sailboat. While she's concerned for Flurry's safety, she also wants to spend more time with Water at the same time. After Sunset helped the kids for the Ruby sailboat, she decides to walk up to her princess friend. You really want to play with Water Lily, don't you? She asked. Yes, but I'm not good with paddling, Twilight replied. That's one of those things I forgot to learn 2 years ago when Glocio and Timbo took me here. This made Sunset laugh from the princess's compliment. Well, even if you knew how to use paddles, you're still out of luck since each sailboat only has 3 seats available. Yeah, that's true. Then Rarity, after helping some of the kids, wraps her arms around the Princess of Friendship. Come on, darling, she lit her eyes. Keep in mind, we have tons of activities for today and tomorrow. You have a lot of time. And besides, Pinkie popped up in between Twilight and Sunset, let's not forget that after sailing, we're going to take a hike in the woods. Princess Twilight found an opportunity to spend time with Water and Flurry. She still remembered the hike she took 2 years ago and how beautiful Evergreen Forest was. Guess you're right, maybe I can show them the Crystal Cave if I get the chance. After the girls and kids returned from sailing, they began their second activity. The sun also began to set over the mountains, with the sky turning orange, with the clouds turning light gray. Pinkie Pie is also carrying a backpack filled with chocolate bars, marshmallows, and graham crackers. She knows full well that they're going to have a campfire at the end of the night, and she's looking forward to making s'mores for the kids. Princess Twilight is staying close to Flurry yet again, but at the same time, Water Lily is taking notice. Does Flurry really need that kind of help? She asked. Trust me, Water, the princess spoke. As much as I like seeing you play with Flurry, she isn't like any of the other kids. How come? Lily Pad replied. You didn't tell us who Flurry really is. We understand she has a speaking disability, but don't you think we should get to know her a bit more? Upon hearing that, the other kids also turned their heads, whilst still walking. Yeah, like what school does she go? Technicolor Waves asked. What's her favorite hobby? Mainstream added. And how did you meet her in this world? Gulab J. Fry added. Princess Twilight can feel the pressure of the amount of questions she's receiving about Flurry. She did reveal information about her a while before, but only for herself. She had no intention whatsoever about revealing information about her best friends in Equestria, Spike and others. She needs to make sure both worlds are kept separate from each other before making things worse. Sorry kids, but I can't answer your questions, the princess rolled her eyes. This made the kids a little suspicious from Twilight's refusement. Seems Flurry doesn't live closer to us, huh? Water asked, which made the princess more concerned until Sunset steps in. I think asking so many questions will make the Princess of Friendship feel more pressure than she's comfortable with, Sunset said behind Twilight. Yeah, believe me, you don't want me to go through that. Despite the kids not liking their questions not being answered, they're still respectful towards the Princess of Friendship, although they're more suspicious. After Timbo and Glocio showed the kids all the wonderful places in Evergreen Forest, they end up at the campfire pit with logs for people to sit on. The sky is starting to turn pitch black as Timbo lit a match while dropping it in the pit of wood he set up in the pit this morning. Pinkie Pie, Timbo called to the party animal guard, let's make some s'mores. Perfect, Pinkie squealed as she took off her backpack. As all the kids sat on the logs around the pit, Princess Twilight is sitting by Flurry and Water Lily. Pinkie handed sticks with marshmallows at the end to all the kids as they held those sticks over the fire pit. So, does anyone want to hear a campfire story? Glossio wondered. Yeah, campfire stories are the best, Kimberlite smiled. Princess Twilight may have found the idea to tell a story to all the kids, but after they asked questions about Flurry, she refused to add more pressure to herself unnecessarily. However, this actually gave Sunset and Human Twilight an idea from their first experience during their Camp Everfree field trip. Then we have a story for all of you, Sunset smiled as she and Twilight stand up. Rainbooms, let's tell them the amazing story of the Crystal Guardians, Human Twilight added. Upon hearing it, Rarity, Applejack, Rainbow-Dash, Pinkie Pie, and Fluttershy stand up and join in. This is going to be fun, Fluttershy commented. We spent our time here in Camp Everfree several years ago until we encountered Equestria magic. Pinkie began the story. We didn't know where it was coming from, but we were enjoying our field trip, so we didn't think anything of it. But later on, Rarity continued until she stopped herself. Long story short, we gained superpowers, Rainbow shouted. Superpowers? Both Lily Red and Lily Longsocks responded. Oh yes, superpowers indeed. Rarity and her friends showed off her droids to the kids and then activated them. The 7 girls in the Rainbooms have turned into the crystal outfits, which made the girls impressed and didn't expect anything like this to happen. For the first time ever, Princess Twilight is seeing her friends in their crystal form in this world. She was curious what the droids did upon seeing them for the first time, and now it has happened. For the next 3 minutes, the Rainbooms finished the story with all the kids enjoying it from beginning to end, whilst eating their s'mores. And that's how Camp Everfree was saved. Pinkie spread her arms apart. I love that story, Techno Color Waves praised, especially the part where there's a party in the Crystal Cave, Golub added. Water Lily and Flurry enjoyed listening to the Rainboom story so much, but for the Princess of Friendship, she became more stressed after hearing the story. She got up from the log and went by herself in the forest, which Water and Flurry noticed. Twilight, where are you going? Water asked. I'm just gonna take a walk by myself, she responded in despair as she continued to walk. The Rainbooms and others also noticed when the princess left the campfire pit. Girls, send the kids back to the tents. We'll take care of Twilight, Sunset called. No problem, Rainbow Dash replied. As the Rainbooms, Glossio, and Timber guide all the children back to Camp Everfree, Human Twilight and Sunset Shimmer try to find Twilight in the woods. When they see Princess Twilight, she's sitting on the grass, in front of a pond, looking at her reflection. It's the same place Human Twilight went to when she was afraid of herself. Luckily, it wasn't the same case with her princess counterpart. Twilight, Sunset spoke. Yes, Princess Twilight responded without turning her head. What's the matter? Aren't you enjoying Camp Everfree since you're spending the weekend with us? Human Twilight asked. Princess Twilight didn't bother to answer another question as she sighed while still looking at her reflection from the pond. Her friends decide to sit by her, wondering what this issue is. I don't understand, Sunset said. I thought you wanted to come back to this place. The princess slowly lifted her head up upon Human Sunset. Yes, I did, but that's not the reason. It's about Flurry and Water Lily. I'm thankful I took Flurry to a place she can spend time out of my castle, but I didn't think I would get this far. Both Sunset and Human Twilight looked at each other from the princess friend's confession. Is it because was it a last-minute decision? And you didn't have any idea what to do when you got here? Human Twilight asked. Yes, Princess Twilight replied. I wanted to make Flurry happy, but at the same time, I wanted to spend time with Water Lily. She then takes out her doll of herself as she takes a look at it. For this weekend in Everfree Forest alone, she's able to have 2 things going on at once, but is unable to advance with either of her goals. Come on, Twilight, Human Twilight placed her hand on her counterpart. I can guarantee there's still a chance for you. I know I haven't known Water Lily like you have, but I can tell she's waiting for you to play with her. And not only that, Sunset recalled, she's enjoying the time she's having with Flurry when I saw them during the sailing activity. Okay, I guess that is true, the princess smiled. And considering Glossio and Temple have everything under control, I might be able to do something tomorrow. The three girls stand back up as Princess Twilight puts away her doll. So, are we going to have the kids go to the Crystal Cave? Sorry, but all the kids are heading back to their tents and it's getting late, Human Twilight replied. But I think we can do something with the cave tomorrow night, Sunset offered. You mean like what you mentioned at the end of your campfire story? Princess Twilight wondered. Yes, not as good as last time, but still a lot of fun. The Twilights and Sunset Shimmer came up with an idea on what they're going to do tomorrow. Not only that, they're going to need a lot of help from their friends to make it possible. The dawn of the second day in Camp Everfree has arrived. After Sunset told most of her friends about what they're going to do, they all head to the Crystal Cave. Princess Twilight, Flashlight, Glossio, and Timber all head to the tents to awake the kids for the early morning activities. Twilight heads inside the Sapphire tent while Flurry and Wallow are sleeping. Hey Flurry, Wallow, she called as the two young children awoke from slumber. It's going to be a big day today. Okay, Wallow smiled to see Twilight again. What are we going to do first? I'll show you after breakfast. After the kids had their breakfast in the cafeteria, Glossio, Timber, Flashlight, and Twilight took out black and white pieces of paper along with 5 small buckets of colored crayons on the 4 wooden tables. We understand that you want to do fun activities outside, but we'll save that for later, Flashlight placing the papers in the center of the tables. For right now, all of you will draw either complete clip arts of Camp Everfree itself or create one of your own instead, Glossio stated. You have about 30 minutes to draw until we get to our next activity outside, Temple finished. With all the papers and clip arts on the 4 tables, the kids immediately picked out one paper while picking out the colors from the bucket. Flurry Heart tried to use a crayon with her hand, but without a horn, she's having a difficult time until Water Lily helps. Hey, don't be upset, she called, which caused Flurry to look at Wallow. My mother told me when I feel that way, our design would feel bad. Even if Flurry didn't begin her drawing, she looked at her hand for a moment. 5 fingers on her hands made it bizarre, not to mention creepy. Twilight and Flashlight continue to watch Wallow talking to Flurry as the princess is liking the way she's being friendly with her. So, what are you going to do now? Flashlight asked. I think maybe I should join in so I can teach them something about drawing, Twilight answered. Something about drawing? Like what? You'll see. The Princess of Friendship sat by Water Lily after she gave Flurry her advice. So, what are you going to draw? I'm gonna draw a colorful picture of Camp Everfree with all the kids and grown-ups. Wallow smiled as she began drawing the first person on her paper. As the princess liked Wallow's idea, Flurry also saw her aunt again. I think there's something you need to know about Flurry Heart, by the way. This causes Wallow to stop to put her focus on Twilight. She loves princesses, like how I'm one. I think it would be sweet of you to draw her in a princess dress. Okay, I'm not good at drawing bigger dresses, but I'll try. As Water Lily returned back to her drawing, Twilight turned her attention to Flurry Heart. She knows she can't be able to use her hands while drawing. She's right behind her while picking up one crayon. She placed the crayon on Flurry's hand as she begins drawing on the paper. Like what Wallow said, just calm down and eventually you'll make a wonderful drawing, Flurry. The princess smiled, which made Flurry happy. For the next 10 minutes, Twilight and Flurry finished the drawing. Midway through, the princess knew what Flurry wanted to draw. Despite the amateurish skills, she can't wait to see Wallow's face when she sees it. Hey Wallow, Twilight poked on Wallow's shoulder. Flurry wants to show you what she drew. When Water Lily looked at Flurry's paper, she saw herself along with Flurry Heart holding hands. Flurry didn't add anything to her drawing since she's new to this, but Wallow found the drawing beautiful. Wow, that looks really good, Wallow commented while seeing Flurry's drawing. Well, I mostly helped her, Twilight replied. but I can tell when she gets older, she'll get better. This caused Flurry to shake in happiness upon hearing her aunt's positive opinion, while a friend admires her design. After the kids did their activity in the cafeteria, they all headed outside with more outdoor activities set up. Rock climbing is the next activity, but Twilight knows full well that both Flurry and Water Lily are too young to rock climb, especially if they might be severely injured if they fall off. Instead, Glossio, Timber, and Flashlight are responsible for the kids to do the rock climbing, while Twilight takes Water Lily and Flurry to the dock. I know you're upset you're not going to rock climb with the others, but for your own safety, we should sit together while watching the lake. It's fine, Twilight. Water sitting on the bench. Besides, I have a fear of heights. A fear of heights? Yes, unlike swimming on the water where you can float, flying in the air feels scary, she shook in fear. Is it because the air has more space while the ocean has less water? When you think about it, Water Lily nodded from the princess's question. This made Flurry feel bad from the way her friend feels about heights. Even if she's an Alicorn in Equestria, she didn't think other points from her age would go through height issues. But then she remembered she had bigger wings than every pony else. The Princess of Friendship then took out her phone to check on her friends back at the Crystal Cave. By the time she sent her text, Sunset texted back that they're setting up the decorations at the moment. With only several hours remaining until tonight, they need more time to make the cave the best for Twilight's favor. As the princess puts away her phone, she then turns her attention to Water Lily. Hey, don't be afraid, she lifted Water's chin up. People always have their own fears when they experience it for the first time. Flurry has a fear of bears when they're scary. Is that true? Water looking at Flurry. All that Flurry needs to do is not, since she's not afraid to show her personal feelings to anyone. And if it makes you feel any better, I have fears that are insignificant to say the least. The princess looked to her right, remembering her issues with ladybugs in the past. Does that make you feel better? She turned back to Water as the kid slowly grew a smile. Yes, and thank you, Water smiled. If only flying was like swimming without the height. You might understand it more once you get older. After they had a private conversation, they continued to look at the lake with the sun shining over the water. For every day, Everfree Forest never had a cloud in the sky, the lake itself remains the same during the seasons of spring, summer, and autumn. Beautiful, mesmerizing, and always perfect to paddle on a boat to see more instead of the view from the dock. Flurry found the view great, since she never went by a lake during her times being spent at the Crystal Empire. As for Camp Everfree itself, she's taken a liking to the activities she did along with the friends she's been making like Water Lily. Not to mention what's waiting for her tonight, which will be the highlight of the whole weekend. Princess Twilight spent the next hours playing with Flurry and Water Lily. They've gone on a hike to see some animals with some help from Flashlight, while also having lunch afterwards. After going another sailboat trip around the lake, the sun sets over the mountains again. Well, that must be all the activities for today, Glossio smiled while getting off of the sailboat she used. But what about campfire stories? Little Red asked. Don't worry, we'll never forget about that, Flashlight replied. Even if this is our final night at camp, we still have so many stories to tell, Timbo added. After Twilight helped Flurry and Water Lily out of the sailboat, she then took out her phone again. When she saw the next text she got from Sunset, it's revealed that she and her friends are done in the Crystal Cave, which gave a smile from the princess. She headed to Temple and Glossio and whispered to their ears about the cave itself. After all the kids got off of the sailboats, Glossio and Temple made their next announcement. Kids, not only we're still going to tell campfire stories tonight, but we're going to have one more hike, Glossio called. Remember from our story about the cave in this forest? Flashlight asked. Well, guess what? We're going to that cave, Tempo smiled. Really? Mainstorm reacted. All the kids cheered that they'll gain the chance to go to the cave they've heard about from the Rainboom story. But what they didn't know is what's waiting for them from a cave filled with crystals. The counselors and 2 of the Rainbooms take all the children to the Crystal Cave. The more they continue the hike, they heard a sound from a distance. Am I the only one hearing music? Lily Pad blinked. So am I, Kimberlite added. The Princess of Friendship couldn't make this moment any better for not only for the children but for Flurry and Wild Lily. When they came out of the woods, they see an open cave with a boulder by the left. The kids saw the entrance with multiple colored lights from above in the cave, along with Rarity waiting. She's wearing her Everfree outfit while giving the kids her beautiful eyes. Come inside, my wonderful children. She then pointed inside the cave, allowing the kids, along with the counselors, to head inside of the Crystal Cave while following from behind. The music got louder when they heard 2 girls playing the guitars and a drummer who loves to drum. When they arrived at the main open area of the cave, they couldn't believe what was going on. There are several small tables for kids to sit with the accessories displayed. Most of the Rainbooms, even Sunset Shimmer, are also wearing their Everfree outfit. And not only that, Rainbow Dash, Applejack, and Pinkie Pie are playing their instruments on stage. Also, there's projectors glowing on one of the cave walls to show pictures of past Camp Everfree trips over the years since day 1. Of course, all the kids ran all over the place because the cave itself caught their attention to a whole new level. This cave is awesome, Golub shouted, looking at the crystals lined on the walls and ceiling. I thought everything the Rainboom said was just a fantasy, Lily Long Socks commented. If you were with us, you'll see it was more than a fantasy, Rainbow smirked after she stopped playing her guitar. And a great experience at that, Sugar Cube, Applejack added. While Lily ran all over the cave when she saw it for the first time, she loved every single bit of it. Flurry, come on in! This cave is beautiful! As for Flurry, her eyes didn't lie when she looked at the cave herself. Throughout her years in the Crystal Empire, it never had a cave like this. Less crystals, but still wonderful. She then looked at her hand, who's still smiling. What are you waiting for? She's waiting for you, Princess Twilight lifting her hand to waddle. All that Flurry did is hug Twilight's leg, thanking her for bringing her to Camp Everfree for the weekend. As she heads to Waterlily to do the activities, Human Twilight poked on her counterpart from behind. Hey, she smiled. Hi, haven't seen you since last night. Princess Twilight placed her hand on her hip. Oh please, you know I love to help my princess friend. Human Twilight wrapped her arm around Princess Twilight. Speaking of love, Rarity decided to do some fashion work when we began decorating. You do know that I prefer not to get impressed anymore, right? I know, but since me and my friends are in our uniform, respecting every force in this world, you should as well. The Princess of Friendship looked at the outfits her friends are wearing and learned something that Equestria's Everfree Forest didn't have. Forest nature. During the majority of yesterday and today, she felt more of the experience of what Camp Everfree had to offer than last time. After she helped with the activities, she knew she had to fit in, even with her last-minute decisions. I guess Rarity really want me to fit in when we're at places like this. The princess gives her fashionista friend a smile while she's helping the children by the tables. She's always clever when she has her mojo, Human Twilight giggled. Come on, I'll show what she made for you. She grabbed her arm as she and her princess counterpart left the Crystal Cave. The Rainbooms and Council spend the most of their time to entertain all the kids for the charity they've been raising money for. At the moment, it's getting close to nighttime outside the cave, but Timber and Glossier decide to have the children enjoy what the Rainbooms had constructed. Princess and Human Twilight arrived back to the cave after the princess changed into the changing room from one of the cabins in Camp Everfree. By the time they've entered the main area, Sunset and her friends see the uniform the Princess of Friendship is wearing. Hey kids, Sunset called as she pointed at the princess. Our friend Twilight is back. As the kids look at Princess Twilight, they immediately found the outfit good. The princess is wearing a purple sleeveless shirt with a cutie mark appearing from the front and back. She wears a pink skirt with pink flowers representing love during the spring season, not to mention awareness. And finally, she's wearing a blue and purple scarf, just like what Rainbow Dash has around her neck. The kids, along with the rain brooms, walked up to the Princess of Friendship. Looks like we're all in the camping spirit now, Rarity crossing her arms. Flurry and Water Lily are also adore Princess Twilight's outfit upon seeing it. I think it's really sweet that she took you here. If I only met your parents, I can know who you really are, Water smiled. However, after she blurted out, Sunset heard everything, which made her remember another important detail she had from the conversation she and Twilight had with the principal and vice principal. With her realization coming to light, she went around the crowd of children and whispered into the princess's ear. Princess Twilight knows full well she can't take Flurry back to this world, and Principal Celestia was right. She wanted Flurry and herself to have quality time with Water, but her life back at Equestria will always get in the way, forcing her to make sacrifices during her spare time. After she nodded once Sunset backed away, she decided to spread the truth about Flurry, just like she spread the truth about herself back at the Starstruck Festival. Kids, the princess called as the kids lowered their expressions. There's something I need all of you to know about Flurry. All the kids, rainbooms, and counselors looked at Flurry while Water Lily gave her a confused look. Princess Twilight sighed as she tried to be nice. I'm sure all of you know that I'm a princess from a different world, right? The kids nodded from the princess's question. Well, Flurry is actually a baby, while her parents are rulers. This caused all of the kids, even the teens and adults, to gasp in shock, except Sunset Shimmer. Water Lily backed away from Flurry when she finally knows she's a baby now, and that explains why she never spoke a word. You see, I wasn't going to be here because I'm supposed to babysit her. I was going to take her to a place she'll enjoy, but there weren't any other options. I could have think harder about bringing her here, but I didn't have much time when Sunset messaged me about Camp Everfree's charity. All the kids then looked at Sunset, who was scratching on the back of her head. I didn't expect her to take one of her relatives along. I thought it was a bad idea from the start. The princess then makes her next move by heading to Water Lily, who still flinched at the moment. You're right, but it was also a stupid idea on my part, Sunset. The princess looked at her friend and turned back to Water. She gave the child her serious look, something she barely does towards fillies back at Equestria. She gets on her knees as she spoke to her closely. Water Lily, I know you had a lot of fun playing with Flurry, but unfortunately this is the only time you're going to see her. I didn't want her parents to feel more worried if they found out I took her here, but I had to make a last-minute decision. I want you and her to be happy when I'm around. So do I. The Princess of Friendship lowered her head in complete despair. Unlike the speech she made back at the music festival, this was too personal for her to even handle what comes her way when she got here. Flurry felt sad after what she heard from her aunt. It was unfair, but true. By the time she leaves, she'll never come back, just when she started loving Camp Everfree. But after all that, Water Lily walked up to the Princess of Friendship. When Twilight sees Water again, the child smiled as she gave the princess a hug. Don't feel that way, she replied. All I ever want from you is to feel happy, just like what you did for Flurry. She then looked at Flurry while breaking the hug. I think taking Flurry felt like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But not just for her, but also for me to have a friend who has a heart of crystal. This causes Flurry to be stunned in silence. Her mother and father did tell her great things, but they never said she has a heart of a crystal. She teared up in happiness as she ran up to Water Lily and gave her a hug. The rainbooms, counselors, and children, and even Princess Twilight couldn't believe what they're seeing, but also couldn't help but adore it. Out of all the kids who had fun, they felt inspired from what Water said to Flurry, let alone a baby who's too young to speak. I think you have a really great sister, Technicolor said to Lilypad. Not to mention she's so mature for her age, Lilywed added. All the kids began to clap and cheer to not only the Princess of Friendship but also Waddle Louie. Guess friendship can fix anything during times like this, Sunset walking by the princess. You could be right, Princess Twilight replied in relief. Well, Rainbow Dash placed her hands on her hips. We should get back to our celebration, right? That's right, Pinkie cheered. Who's ready to party in the Crystal Cave? All the kids cheered as the party continued with the activities waiting for them. So Flurry, Waddle, Twilight walked up to the youngest children at camp. Want me to play with you? She then lifted the two kids up from the ground. Maybe we can draw a picture together. Oh, how could we say no to that? Waddle cheered while Flurry nuzzled on Twilight's chest. For the next hour, everyone in the Crystal Cave did all the activities available, drawing with more things to do, dancing with the music they grow up with, and having the different kinds of cupcakes Pinkie made. It was a memorable night, however it had to come to an end as the Rainbows and counselors take the children back to their tents. By the parking area, Sunset is about to take Princess Twilight and Flurry back to Equestria while Waddle along with her sister watches. Do you really have to leave tonight? Waddle asked. Well, Cadance and Shynama want Flurry back first thing in the morning, Princess Twilight answered. It's better for you to leave right away than later. This caused Human Twilight to place her hand on Waddle's shoulder. Don't feel that way. We've been through this in the past. Okay, I hope you enjoy Camp Everfree. Flurry would accept Waddle's respectful gesture, but she knew she won't come back to a camp she grew to like. She enjoyed it as much as I did during my first visit, Princess Twilight recalled. Even if there's a chance, if in the future, I might take her along again, but it won't happen anytime soon. Especially if Cadance and Shynama finds out about this, Sunset added. But let's not overthink this. I got my car ready. As Sunset inserted her keys into the ignition, both Waddle and Flurry gave each other one more hug. After that, Twilight helped Flurry to get inside the passenger seat while giving Waddle one more look. But I will come back, don't forget about that. She smiled as she opened Sunset's vehicle. Sunset drove her car away from camp, bringing her friend and baby back to Canterlot High. This is the best weekend I ever had, Waddle hugging her sister. So do I, Lilypad smiled. Okay, you two should head back to your tents now. Human Twilight took Lilypad's hand as she took the two kids to the sleeping tents. As Sunset puts her focus on the world itself, Twilight and Flurry are looking at the photos and drawings they had at Camp Everfree. The drawing they and Waddle made is a group picture of all the kids, Rainbooms and counselors and themselves in front of the deck of Camp Everfree. Not only that, they put glue and blue glitter on as the lake itself. They drew light white crystals in the sky, which was Flurry's idea after the time they had in the cave. Flurry felt exhausted by the time she finished it, but it gave her an image she'll remember for the rest of her life. As for Twilight, she wrapped her arm around Flurry after the time she had. Even if she liked the drawing, the picture, she still has to keep it in her castle for safekeeping, along with all the moments she had in this world. But this is important, since Flurry was with her the whole time. But like what Spike said, a lot can happen, especially at the most unusual times. Something Twilight has always gone through, even before becoming the Princess of Friendship.